to ask an adult but don't know how to? We went to workshops where we talked about many topics and got to write anonymous questions about them. Now we are taking the questions from the whole group to some adults we trust. It's time to have the big talk.
What does stereotypes mean?
Stereotypes. So stereotypes is something that a lot of people do, and they think, right, that sort of person is like that, and that sort of person is like that. So it's when somebody doesn't think of someone as an individual, they think, oh, because they look like that, or they sound like that, or they dress like that, or they fancy those people, they're a certain type. They're going to be just like that. So it's like these little boxes that I quite often talk about.
What's the difference between sex and gender?
Okay, so sex would be what the body parts that you're born with tends to be what we talk about your sex.
So gender to me would be who you maybe are inside, but the sex of your body would be whether you were a man or a woman or boy or a girl whenever you were born.
And sometimes it's the same. Sometimes your feelings are the same as the body parts that you have. And sometimes they can be different.
What are the different gender identities?
That's a really, really exciting question to ask.
Do you know there are so many gender identities? So we know we've got male and female, but there are over 100, if not more, gender identities now. So we know that some people might feel like they're two different genders. So people might think they're bi-gender. And then you've got some people who might call themselves genderqueer, who are just like, I don't really want to be anything in particular, I'm just going to be me.
What do you think transgender means?
The definition of transgender is somebody who doesn't identify with the gender they were assigned with at birth.
So when do people feel like they want to change gender?
Wow, that's a really interesting question. As far as I know, I think it's different for different people. So some people might be born and kind of feel that they are the wrong gender. So they might be born as a boy and feel like they're a girl, born as a girl and feel like they're a boy.
So for me personally, when I was growing up, because I'm a transgender man, so when I was born, doctor looked between my legs and said, that's female genitalia, so this person must be female. But I always just felt really uncomfortable. Like I always felt when I looked in the mirror that I was seeing the wrong person. I told people it wasn't necessarily because I wanted to be transgender, but because I wanted to be happy. And to be happy, I had to be true about who I was and let other people in on this so that they could see me as who I was, but also to use different name and using he, him pronouns instead of she, her. Nobody really treats me differently, but I feel like all the pieces in my life fit now. Everything makes sense a bit better.
Why are there so many letters in LGBTQ?
It's a lot of letters, isn't it?
LGBT is really easy to explain. It's lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender.
Q has two. One's queer and the other's questioning.
Does everyone have a sexual orientation?
Yes, everybody has a sexual orientation. Whenever I talk about sexual orientations, even with adults, they always mention lesbian, gay, bisexual, maybe sometimes pansexual. No one ever mentions being straight or heterosexual. So if you're straight, that means that you're attracted to someone of the opposite gender. And there can be a sexual orientation for people who don't feel sexual attraction, and that's called asexual.
Why are some people gay or lesbian?
As you grow up and you get older and you start to think, actually, I really like that person in a slightly different way than you do normally to your friends, you might at that point realise that actually the person you like is of the same sex as you. And that's when you start to know that you indeed might be gay, you might be lesbian, depending on the sex that you feel that kind of relationship with. So I'm a head teacher and I am a gay head teacher, so I'm in a same-sex relationship. So I'm married to my wife, and it's about the love that you have for that person that makes you realise, actually, I may be gay or I may be a lesbian.
Do you have any friends that are gay or lesbian?
Yeah, wow, of course, because I wouldn't really be friends with people like and know whether they were attracted to boys or girls. I think our family have lots of friends from all different walks of life, don't we? Anybody is welcome in our home as long as they're kind.
Yeah.